Why should you buy a luxury car nowadays? They're hilariously expensive to maintain in India, and you're better off just buying one second hand. Skoda and VW have been corrupting their own brothers for quite a while now, because virtually every Audi which is on the road is basically a Skoda and a Volkswagen. So today I'm going to tell you why this Skoda Karoq is better than the equivalent Audi SUV on the market today.
The Karoq is Skoda's answer to the mid-size SUV segment in India, where it competes against cars like the Jeep Compass, Volkswagen's newly launched T-Roc, Hyundai Tucson and many more.
So when you look at the Karoq for the first time, it's classic Skoda. You get the funky looking headlights up front with the massive iconic Skoda grille, and also the sharp creases everywhere on the bonnet as well as the side.
Aesthetically, this car is much more toned down and aesthetically pleasing to the general public compared to its predecessor, the Yeti.
And when it comes to the engine, you get the new wave of TSI engines from Volkswagen, and this one is the 1.5 TSI. You get 150 horsepower and 250 Newton meters of torque. I would maybe like a little bit more power from this engine, but hey, there's nothing that a normal ECU remap can't fix, right?
Keep in mind though that the DQ200 7-speed DSG transmission that you find in the Karoq is quite fragile. 250 Newton meters of torque is right at the limit of what the gearbox can take.
But the interior is where the Karoq really takes the cake. If I removed all of these Skoda badges inside and replaced them with Audi ones, I'm pretty sure a normal person wouldn't even find the difference. But I mean, of course it's not expensive and posh everywhere. Like when you go down here, there are a few scratchy plastics. But think about it, the equivalent Audi SUV, which is the Q3, is almost 14 to 15 lakhs more expensive than this. Just let that sink in for a moment.
When it comes to size, the Karoq is actually much more spacious and in fact longer and wider than the Q3. The wheelbase of the Karoq is almost 30mm more than the Q3. That's like the difference you get when you pay extra for a Rolls-Royce Phantom extended wheelbase over a normal one. Many of the fancy features from the Audis have also trickled down into the Karoq. You get basically the same virtual cockpit system as any other Audi on the market today, a really nice, well-working infotainment system and also fancy ambient lighting. You get a massive panoramic sunroof and some really nice looking 17-inch diamond cut alloy wheels as well.
But then you would argue that the Karoq will not be as safe as an Audi Q3. Well, you're wrong. You get 9 passenger airbags with airbags for the rear passengers as well, ESC, ABS with EBD and ISOFIX. Who even uses ISOFIX in India? But now you'll say, oh, the Jeep Compass and the Ford Endeavour, they have off-road capability, 4-wheel drive, off-road modes and all of that. Well, let me just tell you one thing. Just because a car is labeled as an SUV doesn't mean it has to go off-road, right? Lamborghini Uruses, Mercedes G63 owners, do you think they actually take their cars off-road? I don't think so. And even if they wanted to, they're better off just buying a Jeep Wrangler or a Range Rover. Same is with the Karoq. Even if this car is a SUV, it's better at doing everyday cruising because it has comfortable seats, loads of boot space and top-notch German safety. Yes, your Jeep Compasses and Endeavours can scale mountains, but is it as easy to drive and as comfortable as the Karoq? No. Yes, they have dirt modes and sand modes and off-road gearboxes with low-range gearboxes, but do they have a smooth shifting 7-speed
DSG?
No. And now you'll say, oh, they have a powerful engine, they make more power than the Karoq and everything like that. But do they have
eco coasting mode? This is where the Skoda actually finds out the right gear to be in to increase fuel efficiency at the given speed, and also it keeps the cabin much more quieter.
And that's why the Karoq is a better pick for a person who's looking to buy a comfortable everyday cruiser. Period.
The ride quality of the Karoq is really good. It's in fact so relaxing and so easy to drive that sometimes you just forget you're actually driving a car. Although there is one small thing that I find really questionable about the suspension setup is that they've gone for a torsion beam rather than a fully independent rear suspension.
You do get paddle shifters, and that's a big plus for me because I just like rowing through the gears on my own. And the best part about this interior has to be this virtual cockpit. It's absolutely wonderful, and you have so many different types of themes and designs to change from. And I'm currently in this sporty looking one which has this center dial. So the Karoq might not be the most rugged and most off-road capable car in the segment, but it is much more sophisticated and luxurious. It is for you middle-aged people who are itching to buy a luxury car but just don't have enough money to maintain and afford one. So if you're looking to buy an Audi Q3 or something along those lines, the Karoq is a much better option for that sort of money. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel